Another insight that I have had as I have looked at the first chapter of Genesis and studied it is that God is not a God of mixture, but He is a God of holiness, right? So we know that the word holy is the opposite of mixed. Holy means separate. And He is a God who actually separates. As much as we talk about unity and being united and how important it is in a godly sense, our world tries to unite things that should not be united more and more. And we need to be careful and watch out for that. And so, what we see here is actually a lot of separation, and that shows God's order and God's purpose for everything that He creates, and that one thing is not another thing. For example, in the third verse, we see that God said, "Let there be light." And so the first act of creation is actually separating light from darkness. Right now, there's so much mixture in the church and in the world where we're trying to mix light and darkness. And we're trying to say, well, if we add a little bit of darkness, even if our spirits feel this is not of God, it's okay because it's mostly light, so we can mix. No, creation, the goodness of God's creation actually started by saying, okay, there's darkness, let's separate it from light. Light will be separate, darkness will be separate, and then later, day will be separate, night will be separate, and there will be different entities responsible for guiding both of those times. And then as he starts creating life, again, it just really stood out to me, starting with verse 21 and on, it just saying, each according to its kind, each according to its kind. He created birds, each according to its kind, living creatures in the waters according to their kinds, and living creatures on earth according to their kinds. And there's this sense that there are distinct kinds, that they don't morph into each other, they don't mix. Everything is predictable, everything is distinct in its characteristics and in its purpose. And then, of course, we see as the culmination the creation of man and woman, and the fact that we are absolutely distinct from all of the rest of creation. And we see that we are made, unlike the rest of creation, in the image of God, unlike all other living creatures. And so there's this sense that there's separation of light and darkness. There's separation of different kinds, different purposes. There's order. And you and I are created for a purpose that is unlike any other. We are created to reflect the image of God. So let us be separate from the world, and especially as Christians, let's be separate. Let's remember light doesn't mix with darkness, kinds don't mix with each other. There's a distinct purpose for us as humans, and there's a distinct purpose for us as Christians to reflect His light in the darkness, but not let darkness inside of ourselves in our lives.